Good morning, Jaguars. Today we're going to do a quick review of slope-intercept form. If you recall, slope-intercept form is a linear equation in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and the b value is the y-intercept, or where the line crosses the y-axis. The y-intercept is typically written as an ordered pair, 0, and then the y value. If I were to give you an equation and ask you to identify the slope and the y-intercept, I would hope that it would be pretty easy if the equation was written in y equals form. So if you think about y equals mx plus b, the m, or slope, is always the coefficient of the x. So in this case, our slope is 1/2. The b value is the constant, so our b value here is 6. And when you're in algebra, for sure, you always write your y-intercept as an ordered pair. On letter B, it's a little bit more challenging because that equation is not written in the form y equals. So in order to get it in a y equals form, I would have to subtract 4x from both sides. Then I would have y equals negative 4x minus 3. So in this situation, my slope is negative 4, and my b value is negative 3, or 0, negative 3. The second thing we're going to review is writing an equation from a graph. And so when you have the graph, you would need to identify the slope, which is the rise over the run, and then you would also need to identify the b value, or the y-intercept, so that you could write the equation. So when I look at my first graph, I notice that there is a point along the line. There's multiple points, but the y-intercept happens to be on the y-axis at 0, 3. So in this case, my y-intercept is 3, or 0, 3. My slope, this line goes downhill, so it goes down 1, and then it runs over 2. And then it goes down 1, over 2. So my rise is a negative 1, and my run is a 2. So my equation for that first example would be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Looking at the second example, again, I first identify points on my line. This line goes uphill, so it has a positive slope. My y-intercept is right here at 0, negative 3, so that means my b value is a negative 3. If I identify my slope, which is rise over run, I'm going up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So that's a rise of 2 and a run of 1, or a slope of 2. So my equation for the second graph is y equals 2x minus 3. Again, this should be review. The last idea that we're going to look at today is how to write an equation from 2 points. And this would be writing an equation in the form y equals mx plus b. The very first thing I have to do when I'm given 2 points is find the slope. And if you recall from last week's lesson, we're doing y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So y minus y, 5 minus 3 over 2 minus 0. 5 minus 3 would be 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. So 2 over 2 is a slope of 1. Now I happen to luck out here because I notice my first ordered pair is 0, 3, and the x value is 0. So that's actually my y-intercept, or my b value. So for my equation, this one's pretty easy. I can just write y equals 1x plus 3, or you really can just write that as y equals x plus 3, because if there isn't an exact coefficient on the front of the variable, we understand that the number in front of the variable is a 1. On letter B, we would start by finding our slope. So that's y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So that's negative 1 minus 4 over 3 minus a negative 2. Well, negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. 3 minus a negative 2 becomes plus a positive, so that's negative 5 over 5. So my slope is negative 1. Now, if you remember from our previous lessons back in quarter 1, we would have to choose one of the points. So I might choose 3, negative 1, and I would substitute that into y equals mx plus b. And I would use substitution of that point and the slope to solve for b. So my y value is negative 1 from the ordered pair. My slope is negative 1. My x value is 3 from the ordered pair, and I'm trying to solve for b. Again, this negative 1 came from my ordered pair. The 3 came from my ordered pair. And then the slope, well, of course, is just the slope. So if I do negative 1 times 3, that's negative 1 equals negative 3 plus b. Add 3 to both sides so that I get b by itself. So b is equal to 2. So I have my y-intercept, I have my slope. My final answer for this problem is y equals, you can say the opposite of x, or a negative 1x plus 2. Thanks for watching, Jaguars.